Elden Ring has extremely powerful magic.
Most people that play Elden Ring use magic in a very sensible way. However, Santa is not one of those.
The SantaVerse has a special one. So does this monster from the SantaVerse have a name? Well, prepare yourself.
Dancing on clouds with glitter flows. No one knows where the stardust goes.
Elden Ring has many talented challenge runners.
J.K. Lee,
Doom
Backlogs,
Wolf,
Iron Pineapple,
Press Continue.
Arcane.
To name 1 or 6.
And I'm going to tell you, my setup for this was stupid.
And from that quick flicker, see if you can see why this is going to be so hard. But I will explain it as we go. My health never gets higher than 21. I think the term is glass cannon.
First up was Dancing Lion.
My damage against him was pretty decent, but then I very quickly learned not having any health against a DLC boss is probably a bad shout. And to sniff some of that sweet, sweet copium, or drink it, that's probably less hazardous. I also had my Shadow Tree blessing on 1 at this point, so I was doing less damage and he was basically eating me, which he nearly did there. And let's be real, the first phase of Dancing Lion really isn't that bad, but once he goes Lightning Super Saiyan mode, he becomes a bastard. But like all those before him and yet to come, he could not stand up to the power of Magic Santa. He got stunned right at the end, bowed to me, and then died. And that's our first boss down.
Unfortunately, that means that Rolana is next. Rolana is resistant to magic, and she dodges.
I knew Rolana would be a problem. She's obviously got high damage resist. She's obviously very strong, and her second phase is just a monster. She beat the shit out of me quite a few times, to be fair. However, Magic Santa does not fear Rolana. As he walks in, he immediately casts 2 moons.
The first moon applies Frostbite, the second one is just Force Spite.
And once the Frostbite is actually applied, we then start beaming her with Night Comet. Night Comet is essentially Comet, but a little bit weaker, but the difference is they cannot dodge, and by they I mean any NPC boss or anything.
Santa finds a way.
The first phase is fairly simple, and then when she wants to turn into her second phase, she'll always do the power-up move. Santa sees this and preempts by getting a little bit further away, knowing that you can easily run past the first 2, jump the 3rd, and then dodge the 4th, and then the 5th one dodge as well.
Rolana's desperation attack is her twin moon, which has got a little bit of a delay when she hits the ground with each of them. If you dodge straight away, you will get hit.
Santa found this too simple, so he allowed her to put into near death not once, but twice.
"'Tis but a scratch."
Santa laughs at her feeble attempt to use her greatsword slam and swing. It's not going to work against Magic Santa. Don't worry about that, ignore it. But then now she's dead. Look how simple that was. First try after the first 20. But Santa is not yet done displaying his awesome magical power of greatness. Look at this against this lesser Drake. He gets mooned and then absolutely beamed to hell. Each one of these shots is doing over 3,000 damage. So before he's even finished emoting at the start, he's pretty much dead.
Mesmer was up next, and the true fire versus ice battle began. After attempting to use the snakes on him, Santa allowed him to trade with him for the first time, just so he could think that he stood a chance.
After that scripted death, Magic Santa was done playing around.
And spoiler alert, this clown doesn't touch me. I love when a boss has an opening move that they never change. So I stand there and blast him after the opening move. It's a great opportunity to attack, and before you know it, he's going into second phase. Santa's attack is so powerful, it even hits him a second time on transformation. And we have another always use opening move, which allows me to beam the crap out of him, even though the first shot didn't land.
At this point now, Santa knows he's got him. He's toying with him. He's allowing him to try and do his attacks. His little flurry of moves that scares people does not scare Magic Santa, and down Mesmer goes. Magic Santa has proven his might once again against an apparently difficult boss. But coming up next, I decided to try something a little bit different and show off another ability that Santa has. The SantaVerse was attacked by Rudolph and his vile kin.
And another dark art that Magic Santa has mastered is the ability of stealth. In preparation for the assault on the North Pole, Santa decided to try his way around the Abyssal Woods, seeing how close he could get for the maddening hands before they recognise him. Unfortunately for them, they saw him, realised it was Magic Santa, and decided not to pursue him. While having a casual stroll through the woods, Santa realised there is another target that he has not yet entwined himself with: Metyr, the Mother of Fingers. Once in range, we use Ranni's Cold Moon to apply Frostbite on her and then start beaming the crap out of her with Comet. Meteor tries to close the gap, but before she can even take a step towards me, I've already done nearly 13,000 damage. Meteor's AoE attack is best dodged by just taking away lock on. You can see on the bottom where there's no pink, and then you can just stand there and just teabag, apparently. I don't know why I did that. Into second phase. She always starts this with the little rise up into the air and then the explosion, but if you dodge it properly, it's not a problem, and Santa, as per usual, is the king. Santa then allowed her to take away his bubble to give her a sense that she might actually win, but after that, it didn't really make a difference. With another blast, she gets stunned to the ground. The fight is already over. Santa taunts her by walking right up to her and just waiting for a second to let her think she can do something, and then before she knows it, the fight is over. And you know what? Something's been bugging me. Oh, hi, Romina. Santa allows Romina to law walk at him while he just starts to pepper her down with some of his magic comets. And before she's even moved towards him, 11,500 has practically been dealt to her. She's panicking now, you can tell. Romina has some nasty habits of just throwing some really, really quick attacks, but Santa knows how to dodge away from them and to get a couple of hits in at the same time. Romina's footwork has failed her in the first phase, so she tries her aerial attacks. Look for the pink flash, dodge through, no drama. Couple more hits and we prepare for phase 2. Romina can enter her second phase basically whenever she feels like it, but in this case it was at around about half health. She has ridiculously high magic resist in this point, so Santa just waits for her. Each comet we fire does over 3,000 damage at base shots, and all we need to do is stay away from her and just keep hitting her. Santa laughs at her feeble attacks. He is not even slightly concerned with her hitting him because he knows what she's going to do at all times, apart from that one. That was because luck. With just a couple more shots, Santa knows that he's won. He's just going to toy with her to the end now, make sure the little butterflies don't actually hit him, and just as she's rolling towards him, he says, "No, bug lady." With Romina destroyed, we burn the ceiling tree. Santa ascends to Eniralim, but he is not done yet. And to bring back a classic, take the plunge, you won't die. And I actually think this is about a 15-second drop, which is insane. But once on the floor, it's time for Putrescent Knight. He always enters the fight from the same location, so we prep a moon to apply frostbite and then already start shooting comets at him. And before he even rises into the air, he's literally half dead. Putrescent Knight loves to separate from his horse and have a little jump around on the floor, but as long as you dodge through him, it shouldn't be an issue. And Santa's just toying with his food at this point. At around half health, Putrescent Knight raises up into the air for phase 2. Santa's been hitting him so hard he decides to be greedy, and we trade with him. Santa then hears of a giant dragon at the top of a mountain who is siding with Rudolph and decides this cannot stand. After initially getting my shit pushed in by Bale, whenever you walk back into the actual fog gate, sometimes he can breathe fire, other times he can jump at you. I got lucky here with the jump because the fire is a right nasty thing to do at the start. Bale's weak spots are known to Magic Santa. He knows that you can either attack the head or the left leg. Bale was trying his very best to protect that left leg. Santa keeps his distance and just keeps barraging him from a distance. Bale's best move that he can do is this glowing mouth grab. It's very easy to dodge and you can normally get away or heal or do anything afterwards with a successful dodge. Bale tries fire against Magic Santa, who rolls through it with little issue whatsoever. Bale sees his doom coming, so he goes second phase against Magic Santa. His desperation is clear for all to see. Bale flies up into the air and starts firing his 11 fireballs from a distance, but Magic Santa just gleefully walks away. During the slam, he waits for him, dodges through him, stands there, and then just laughs at his feeble attempt to try and do damage to Santa. Bale slams down, but Santa he's toying with him at this point, and with one extra shot, he's even staggered Bale. What's that, Mr. Bale? You seem to be having some struggle with Magic Santa there. You have a little rest for a minute while I just beat the crap out of you. Oh, he still has some health remaining. Oh, that can't be an issue at all, though, can it? Santa's fine. Santa, get up, please. Only joking, only messing. Stop stressing. Bale, get on the ground, you giant bitch. Boom. With that done, we have one fight left. I think everyone knows this bloody staircase by now. Santa necks his drink and then steps forward to the next clown that dare opposes him. Oh shit, that's Radagon.
Oh, Radagon. Radagon, as we all know, is an absolute monster, but once you actually know how to fight him, he's really not too bad in the first phase. Radagon loves to close the gap with many of his attacks, but Magic Santa lives in that area that Radagon thinks he's safe in. Radagon has exceptionally high magic resist, so our comets aren't doing too much damage, and using Frostbite in this is very difficult using the moon. In the first phase, I should say. Magic Santa has a casual jog away from his rock attack to dodge them. A little bit more abuse to him when he's trying to get close to us, which is exactly where Santa likes to be. In fact, Santa likes to be everywhere. He even let him take his bubble away so he could, you know, have a chance. The screen going black there means one thing. Second phase.
Radahn starts the fight by foolishly law walking towards Santa and then doing his Light of Miquella attack. Santa sees this coming, easily gets outside the circle of damage, and then we finally inflict Frostbite on Radahn. Santa is in pure reaction mode now, and he's simply watching for what Radahn's going to do, waiting for his combos to end because he knows he can dodge them perfectly, and in doing so will avoid Magic Santa getting one shot. The staff we use in our right hand has a very, very high FP cost, but it makes every spell a lot more powerful when fired. So something like Comet becomes very strong, but Comet has a very high FP cost. So we use the Primal Glintstone blade that reduces our spell FP cost by 25%, but our health by 15. Radahn's Desperation attack is a 2.0 version of his nuke from the earlier fight in Caelid. Santa knows that whatever way you're facing, you just keep sprinting in that direction until he lands, and then as the explosion passes, you roll through and do another one just for glee. Santa sees his M. Bison attack coming and knows that he's won at this point. He's just celebrating early. With Radahn defeated, Magic Santa has completed the mission he was sent here for. However, he was told that Rudolph would be the final battle he would be facing, and he is not showing himself because he is clearly a coward when facing Magic Santa. So Magic Santa has one alternative. He must travel across the SantaVerse. But the SantaVerse has been fragmented by Rudolph's attack on the North Pole, so we can't just simply teleport Magic Santa to the next place. We have to see which kind of Santa will next appear. Until next time.